Okay, great. Perfect. Here we go. How's the rice roll?
Go to our second one.
That place is really good. Welcome to Basic Training, a podcast for people that need help.
A podcast for people who love to eat a little lunch.
A little lunch at 6:25 p.m. Mama, that's dinner.
Whatever.
It's fine. You're on West Coast time. It's 3:30.
Big time on West Coast time. Okay, so can you tell me about your journey here?
Yes. Okay, let's talk about it.
More food.
Wait, you have another rice roll coming? I'm obsessed with this.
I'm starving.
We did 2 episodes. We did, okay, so you understand what's happening, guys? Normally we do a break between the 2 episodes, but instead for this one, we just did 2 back-to-back, but Talia needed food because of the day. So we ran downstairs and grabbed food, and now we're back. And now she's about to be back on the couch. You want to take your jacket off? You're going to get hot. Okay, and then we're actually going to get into it because I have some fucking shit to say.
Please excuse me. I haven't eaten since yesterday in Detroit. I had a connecting flight in Detroit.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I had some McDonald's there.
I'm going to make I also decided I'm going to make a TikTok about this.
Okay. I'm going to make a TikTok about my Ozempic theory. Ooh.
The Metro Transit Authority.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? The MTA in New York right now. You guys, what is going on? I have been driven to tears. Twice. There have been 2 derailments. Neither of them was I involved in. 2 trains collided, or they didn't collide head on, but they hit each other, and one derailed. Then there was another derailment because the F train jumped the tracks. Girls, you need to get your fucking shit together. I was on a C train to go meet my friends for dinner. Guess how long it took me to get from my apartment in Brooklyn to Chelsea? An hour and a half.
Oh my God.
I was stuck on a C train for 40 minutes. And then, but before that, so that was the second day. The day before that, I was on a C train to go see, I bought myself a ticket to a Broadway show as my Christmas present to myself.
Love, what'd you see?
I saw this play called Appropriate that is incredible. It's so good.
Better than Magic Mike Live?
Different than Magic Mike Live, but Corey Stoll is in it, so I was also very sexually aroused.
Okay.
But
ever since that, I'm only seeing plays that make me horny.
Oh, sure. This play wouldn't make, actually, Corey Stoll was really hot in it, but the play is very, 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 very fucked up. So it would not make you horny, I don't think. There's, I guess, a sexual scene, but I didn't think it was horny sexual. Anyway, I was on a C train to go to Midtown to see a Broadway show. Train got held again for over half an hour. I was like, I'm missing the show. I'm gonna miss the show. And didn't know if I would be able to get another ticket. Was really, really upset. I literally sprinted from the train to the theater. I get there, and the woman's like, we literally just turned the house lights down. The show has started, but it hasn't actually started yet. They were like, so you have to go downstairs and watch the first 4 minutes on a TV monitor, and then we'll let you in when the next scene change happens, because the first scene of the play is really short.
Okay.
So it was
That's
actually
nice of them.
totally fine. It was totally fine. And the play is almost 3 hours long. So it's I really didn't miss much.
Jeez, you enjoyed a 3-hour play?
I guess it was actually, no, it was 2.5 hours long.
Okay.
But it went by. I will tell you, when I saw how long it was, I was a little nervous. I was like, oh
Really?
shit. And then, because it was after I bought the ticket, but I heard really good things about the play. When the first act ended, I was like, wait, how? It went by so fast. And the first act is always longer than the second. So I was like, oh, great. this is cruising on by. And then the second half was also quite quick. And then the ending is so cool. The ending is so cool. I think the show is mostly sold out. It's a really limited run, I think into March maybe. But if you can get a ticket, go see it. It's so good.
Okay, I have to see it.
Yeah, it's really good. But it's really, and it's not, let me just say this. When I see a Broadway show, and I open to all kinds of theater, and I'm happy to see all of it. If I walk in and I see the set is minimalist, I'm a little disappointed.
Really? What's your ideal set?
Oh, they built a whole house. They built this was the premise of the play is that it's a family going back to the house that their dad lived in until he died in Arkansas, and it's it's a former plantation, and it's about the reverberations of that and da 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 da. But they built like on the stage is like the living room of this house with like the balcony of the second floor and the staircase that comes down, and through the window you can see trees.
Yeah,
and like
I appreciate
when they open the front door, you can see the bushes.
Right.
Like it feels really real. Like you don't have to imagine anything. It's like all right there.
Right.
And I love that shit. That's like I feel like that's part of what makes it worth seeing. Like, obviously, like the performances are amazing and like seeing cool art is cool, like in terms of like what makes it worth seeing it. But like part of the grandeur of Broadway with the budget is like that it's stuff that you would never see in community theater. You know what I mean? You would never see in like local theater. It's like they fucking did it.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I loved it so much.
I love attention to detail that way. And like weird little fake I love like I don't know, something about a fake like a house, like a Disneyland type of set. I really like that. I love like admiring that kind of thing. They had a lot of that in Las Vegas. Like in Treasure Island inside the casino, you'd look up and there would be like weird little balconies. You feel like you're on Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Mm-hmm. I like that kind of thing. I think that's so cool. I'd like to do that for a job.
Do what part? The
like
set design?
Designing it.
Yeah, I know I would be really, really bad at it.
Here are jobs that I would be really good at. Number 1, set design. Number 2, public defender. Number 3, judge.
Interesting.
Number 4, crisis manager, PR. Number 5, stay-at-home mom.
I think I would be bad at most jobs. I think I'd be good
Someone's calling you. Oh no, never mind.
No, we're on the phone with the fucking producer of this podcast.
So fucked up.
Wait, no, someone is calling me.
Yeah.
No one was calling me.
It looks like a call, right?
Yeah. Wait, I've never seen my phone do. Wait, do you want to see this? Wait, we can actually clip this in for the podcast maybe so I can show you this. My phone did something last night. So you see my screen's cracked? I'm getting a new phone on Friday. My phone did something last night when I was at a stand-up show that I have never seen a cell phone do in all my years. I was just sitting in the theater, or I was sitting at dinner before the show, and my phone started doing this.
Oh my God.
Do you see how bright it is? My friend we were like, I'm gonna die in 7 days. But like, it did this all night. I couldn't use my phone until this morning. Is that not crazy?
That's so scary.
It was like strobe lighting.
Poltergeist
vibes.
They're here.
Okay, no, but back to the MTA. It's like, it makes me feel so crazy. I become the worst version of myself. I hate being like, it's like, I used to have this very fucked up fantasy where I was like, because I was like, this is someone's fault. Like there's someone who's working in the MTA whose fault this is. Like, and it's not the conductors, it's not any of the people working lower down. It's someone up high who's getting paid too much to not do enough. Like, you know what I mean? I used to hate, like, especially back, like, this was probably before you lived in New York, but like, so when I moved to New York almost 10 years ago now, when I first moved to New York, the trains were horrific. I have so many nightmare train stories from back then. And then I feel like something shifted. I feel like a lot of work, I think part of it is that a lot of train work got done during COVID because the trains they were not running 24 hours and da-da-da. But the trains got much better leading up towards COVID, and then I feel like have been much better since. And then all of a sudden, over the past several months, it's like I started talking to my friends about it where I was like, I'm losing my mind. Like every time I go somewhere, on the way here today, going from the L, I'm on an L, and then they were like, this is running direct from Lorimer all the way to Union Square, which is skipping a lot of stops, which worked for me because Union Square was where I was transferring, but I was like, so many people on the train were like, what the fuck?
That's
and had to get
skipping a lot of stops.
Skipping a lot of stops. And then I get on a 6 train at Union Square, and that bitch goes straight to City Hall. I literally end up at the end of Manhattan. I was like, you guys, like I literally like shot past here, had to get on an uptown train. I was like, this is a disaster. And it's like constant. And I don't understand what's going on. But I used to have this fantasy. Because they used to blame, when the trains were really bad when I first moved here, they were blaming Cuomo. Like everyone was mad at Cuomo about it. And I was like, Andrew Cuomo should be put up in Times Square in like the stocks. And like we can all just like do whatever we want, just like throw tomatoes at him. Like I fantasized about that so deeply. And whenever I'm stuck on a train, I fantasize. I have like, it's like my penchant for punishment comes out, which is like one of my darkest qualities. Same. Like I hate it. And I'm like, I want to hurt someone who works high up in the MTA. I want to cause them physical, emotional, and mental pain. And that rage only sees inside of me. I'm like, I'm gonna get cancer from this. Like, it's so bad. But it's like, and I hate the conductor says, we thank you for your patience. Bitch, there is no patience. Don't thank me. There's no patience.
No patience.
You're holding me hostage on a train.
I hate that.
I've paid you. Like, I pay so much in taxes. I pay to get on this train every single time. Like, oh my God. And then, like, of course, they're spending so much money. Sorry, this is like just a rant about New York now. Sorry for most of the listeners who don't live in New York. The amount of taxpayers' money that is going to prevent people from jumping the turnstiles that could just be going to making the trains better makes me feel so enraged. One of the most, like, I'm so mad all the time about the trains.
Amen.
You know how there's like I feel like you probably don't take the AC that often, but you know how like the newest subway trains are now on the AC line? Have you been on one yet?
I'm sure I have.
I feel like you would notice they're quite different. Like you go on and you're like, oh shit. My friend was like, the most upsetting thing in the world has just happened. And I was like, what? And he was like, I just got on a brand new A train and the conductor made an announcement and the speaker in my car is broken.
No.
I was like, girlie, these have been on the tracks for like 3 months.
No.
Like, I need it to get like the fact that like Eric Adams is being like, let's put robots on the subway platforms. If I ever see one of those robots in real life, I cannot express to you how much effort it is going to take me to not full pressure kick one.
Yeah.
Like, I would kick one onto the tracks in a second if I could. It would make me feel so much joy, but I wouldn't do that because it would delay the trains for people.
Yeah, then you become the problem.
Then I become part of the problem.
Circle.
It's just,
I used to kick robots in college. We had those food delivery robots.
And you would kick them?
I would kick them all the time. They were so annoying. They never worked. And then they like canceled. Most people would kick them. I felt like really bad. It felt like some sort of animal abuse. I don't know why, but I feel like they're alive. But then when we were drunk towards the end of college, these things never once had food in them. They were like $50 to like get across campus and deliver.
Yeah.
Like they never worked. So we would kick them.
Interesting. Should we do first call? Have we been talking long enough?
Yeah, I think so. I have one more thing to say. My thing to say was, on the topic of thanks for your patience.
It's one of my least favorite things to say. For people to say, we thank you for your patience. It's
We
like
thank
you
for your
literally don't
patience.
have any.
Thank you for your understanding. I
Ooh,
don't
why is that like
understand. They canceled my flight yesterday while I was at the airport in TSA, automatically rebooked me on a flight to Detroit and then another flight to New York. Turns out there was nothing I could do anyway, but it's like, hello, that's kind of a huge inconvenience. Like that totally changes everything. And it's also a red eye, so that splits up my red eye in two.
That's
6 hours of sleep
enormous.
on a plane. I'll like pop like a Xanax and I'll be fine. Not being able, like I slept for 3 hours and then I had 2. It was just fucked up. It really did like affect my day significantly. They're like, thanks for your understanding. I don't understand. You didn't give me a fucking reason. I don't understand any part of this. Also send me money. Why are you not sending me
100%?
You have all the money in the world. Why are you not sending me money when you change my flight? I think that if I have to change my flight at the last minute or cancel my flight, I pay a fee.
No, it's
Why
like I can't
are
even
you
get
not
into
giving
that.
me
I
money?
get so mad. I get so mad about that shit.
Really, it sucks. And also, I would like to know your philosophy. I have so many airport rules, as we know, and so many rules that have to do with
it's kind of the premise
convenience
of this podcast.
and yeah, there you go. And having just common courtesy for other people and a sense of urgency and whatever. But here's one rule that I think I might like betray my own people.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like I'm in the right. The seats recline for a reason, and you should recline them. And it never bothers me when somebody in front of me reclines their seat because I just recline mine.
I have some caveats.
Okay, fine.
I don't think you should. I think it's fucked up to recline the seat before you're like at cruising altitude.
Well, yeah, it's the whole thing is that you're supposed to wait until it takes off.
The number of times I can tell you on more than one occasion, I have been like trying to get myself situated and been bonked in the face or head by someone reclining like the second they sit down.
Oh, yeah.
No. I need my space to like literally get situated.
Well, you can tell on them. They're breaking the rules.
I mean, yeah, but it's annoying that you're pushing me
off the
into
ground. You can't recline.
Here's the thing is like reclining to me. See, the thing about the reclining is that I think it's just not a conversation for tall people because reclining for like, I don't want to recline. I want to extend my legs.
Right.
This actually leaning farther back with my leg, like maybe I can get a little more extension, but like sometimes it makes it more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't really care about reclining. I feel like it's a short person's game, the reclining thing. Like,
I get it. Well, it's also a big boob person's game. I can't be holding these tits up, sitting upright in like this kind of right angle for 5 hours or whatever.
You need some gravity.
I need a little gravity to pull me down.
That makes sense. Yeah. I don't really go either way on reclining. I think that if you don't need to recline, don't recline. I think like if it's not going to really make you that much more comfortable, don't do it. But I think it's the more obnoxious thing is making a stink about someone reclining. It's part of the flight experience.
It's part of the flight experience.
You cannot ask the person in front of you to not recline. If you are,
I will say,
if the person behind you is like visibly a person of size that it's going to like clearly be uncomfortable for them, maybe don't recline. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's like, but sometimes I'm like these rules aren't hard and fast. Like use common sense. If the person behind you is taking up so much space that you can't recline, don't recline. That's part of living in a society.
Yeah. Well, yesterday the person behind me was not taking up space with their body. I think they did something very sneaky and not
I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad.
Of course, if this person, like, I will look, if there's a fucking NBA player behind me, somebody with like really long legs or whatever, their knees are tight. Like I understand how hard it is to be a tall person on a plane. I don't really get complaining about like, well, I'm tall and the person in front of me. Look, if you're tall, plane's gonna suck. Period. End of story. Like I'm so sick of talking about this all day long.
Also, if you can, pay for Comfort Plus. Like buy some leg room.
I think that like if you're tall, that's one of the things in life. Okay, well we've never had a fucking short president, so congrats. Like you're tall, you have a bad plane.
I think we have had a short president, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
I don't think we have. I think they've all been above like 5'10", 5'11". Either way, that is your lot in life. It's great to be a tall man in most cases. People definitely do prefer tall men.
Yeah.
And planes are going to suck. So shut up. But also, I will not recline if somebody's like legs are literally getting in the way of that. But I was reclining and I was feeling something and it wasn't a fucking leg. And I was like pushing back on it.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked in the thing. This woman put her giant like carry-on bag, like a duffel type of thing on her lap and like kind of push it up against the window and in the nook. You know what I mean? So that I could not recline.
Oh, that's
she
annoying.
Didn't put it underneath the seat. I'm sort of like, what the fuck, man?
It's that
What's
thing
wrong
of like,
with you?
I hate when anyone does anything where it's like, they're going to be like, I'm going to make you, like, I'm going to hedge that you are not going to be confrontational. Like, I'm going to make it so you have to say something to recline.
Yeah.
And I'll do it if you don't, but you have to let it get over the hump of like that uncomfortability.
Right.
I hate that. Also, FYI, I just quickly Googled shortest president, James Madison, 5'4". That's
Whoa!
short. That's short.
Okay, but that was back in the olden days when everyone was short.
Yeah. No, totally.
That was probably considered average.
Tallest
Have you
president.
seen the doorways from that time?
Yeah.
They were tiny.
You know, tallest president, Lincoln.
Yeah, really tall.
6'4".
But they're usually over 5'11".
It's really crazy to me how tall
Today,
Donald Trump is.
You would not get a president under 5'11", I don't think.
Yeah, wait, I'm looking the last time we had a president under 5'11". Dwight Eisenhower was 5'10" and a half.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Being a tall man and being a man with hair.
Harry Truman was 5'9". Wow, you are right. Most of the presidents were tall as fuck.
It's a thing. People, I think it really has to do with like height and masculinity and people like trust a tall man to lead.
To get under 5'10", you have to go to 1900. McKinley was 5'7".
Yep.
And then it goes back up.
And also you have to consider that everyone in that time was fucking short.
Yeah.
So
okay, then we get some shorties for a while, but after Lincoln.
But
this is
everyone's
not
a shorty
interesting to like
compared to
literally
Lincoln.
anyone listening, but Martin Van
All
Buren
I'm
was
saying
5'6".
is like these tall guys have a lot to say about the fucking planes, and it's like it's not my job to make you comfortable. You have literally you have won the lottery in many ways in life.
Totally.
It's
I
so
hear
great
that.
to be a tall man. I feel so bad for men who are very, very short. I feel like that's very hard. Like to be a strikingly short man, adult man.
Yeah.
It can be. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth. I just feel like just like with body standards for men.
Totally.
I think that's probably hard to be like under like what 5'6".
Yeah,
You know?
probably.
But anyway, that sucks. And you know what? Sorry. You're on a plane. Your
Totally.
knees are touching the back of my seat. Deal with it, asshole.
Okay, wait, let's play the first call.
Okay. You know what I feel like I do a lot on this podcast that's become a meme recently?
What?
Do you know when Kelly Osbourne was on The View and she was like, then who's going to clean your toilet, Donald Trump? And then everyone's like, no, that's not. She's like, no, in the sense that
Yeah.
I feel like I do that with like very inconsequential things. I'll be like, I feel like it would be really hard to be a really short man, like under 5'6", and you're like, wow. And I'm like, no, in the sense that, in the sense that.
Okay, wait. I cannot believe we still are having a save to files. Wait, I think I got it.
Then who is going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump?
Why is playing this call? I just need the listener to understand. This caller, we're gonna play your call at this point because I'm determined. We have had to bump this call 3 episodes now because we've had a hard time playing it every time, and it is being refused to play on my phone. And I feel. Oh wait, hold on. Did I just get it? Hold on, I'm getting close. I think I'm getting close.
You sound like.
Actually, can we do it
like.
Can we do it that way, Zena? Can you play it? Caller, we love you. I don't know how you sent this call, but the file has been the fight of our lives.
I've always wanted you to tell me. I think I'm getting close.
Okay, if I kissed you right now after those shrimp rolls, I would die.
I know. I probably smell bad. And I've been on 2 planes. Wait, you would die? What do you mean?
I'm allergic to shrimp.
You are?
Yeah.
But I've seen you eat those rolls in front of me.
I get the chicken ones or the pork ones.
Are you going to be okay? I'm sorry I ate that in front of you.
You've eaten them in front of me a million times.
I had no idea you were allergic to shrimp.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I have another comment real quick before we start the call.
Yeah.
Men who are allergic to a lot of shit. What the fuck? The guy I'm dating, my boyfriend is allergic to shellfish and cats, which is a lot to me. And the problem is I've wanted a cat for so long. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. I was looking for a cat. Yeah. I've been planning on a cat. He just popped up out of nowhere. And he's now telling me like, no, if you get a cat, I won't be able to come over. So what?
No,
I don't care. I want a cat so bad. Now I'm
allergic to shrimp, caviar, and cats.
Oh my God. Yeah, you just added caviar.
Yeah, caviar's a new one. All right, Zena, can you play the call?
Hi, Jake and Talia. I'm from Brazil, but I like to stay anonymous because I'm a little bit paranoid.
Okay, we love you.
I love the podcast. So I listen to it like going to work. So I'm always laughing by myself. The reason I called is because I feel like I'm not really sure about my sexuality.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you ever went to like a period of not being sure, being a little bit confused, but I don't feel comfortable talking about it with anyone. Not my friends, not my family, not my therapist, because I don't have a therapist anymore, but I had like 5 and I couldn't talk about sex or sexuality with any of them. The last one, I was with her for 2 years. I talked about everything in my life, and the most important topic, that is sex right now, I couldn't talk about with her. The first thing is like, do you guys go to therapy? Do you guys have any advice as to how to be more comfortable around the subject, how to allow myself to talk about it, because it's like a big taboo for me. I don't feel comfortable talking about it, and maybe that's why I don't feel comfortable doing it. So I'm not sure if I don't like having sex or if I don't like having sex with men. I've only had sex with men and a lot of men, so I know it's not just like if I had sex with only one guy, I would probably think like he's the problem. But at this point I think I'm the problem. I either don't like sex with men, or I don't like sex at all, or I just don't feel comfortable for some reason, and I think that should be worked out in therapy or somewhere else. I've kissed women. I think I am into women, but I'm not sure. Never had sex with women. I'm not really good at flirting with women, but I want to enjoy my 20s. I don't think I'll ever be as hot as I am now. I'm only getting, I don't know, I don't want to say that, but like I just want to enjoy my youth, and I can't because
sweetie,
guys are, I'm not really sure. So any advice you have is so welcome. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.
We love you.
Love.
We love Brazil. We love you.
I want to go to Brazil so bad.
I do too. Okay. So many thoughts. Okay.
You give me your thoughts.
My thought is, I think you go back to therapy and you say, I feel really uncomfortable around sex. That's the thing I want to work on.
I think you found, like, that's what therapy is for.
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but like, if you just get past that one sentence, just break the wall.
Like, I think if you go to I think like also if you can look up like I don't really know, like I know the databases that exist in America. I'm sure there's Brazilian equivalents, but like a therapist who specializes in like sex and sexuality or whatever, like if you have I think that like just going and being like, I just being like, I feel very uncomfortable around sex as an idea, as a thing to talk about, and it's causing a lot of confusion and uncomfortability in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like you need to kind of tackle it head on, because like, I don't know, a lot of times I feel like when Talia and I give advice on the show, it's like, it's not that big of a deal, just do it. This seems like it's really affecting you, and it actually might be a little deep seated.
Yeah.
And I think that like the fact that you're calling it out, like you're like you didn't call us because you're confused about your sexuality. You're confused about you're calling us because like this uncomfortability is causing confusion, and that's like the primary issue.
Yeah.
And maybe like the thing is like, who knows where that started? Maybe you're uncomfortable around it because you're having sex with men and not enjoying it, and that maybe means you enjoy. Like we don't know, you know, and it sounds like neither do you. But I think the only way you're going to be able to figure any of this out is by talking about it. And if you're that uncomfortable talking about it, like therapy is an amazing place because it has to be private. They have to help. Like I think that's the spot to do it. So that's my thought.
Yeah. One thing I will commend that I think is so cool is that you have a hard time, or you say you have a really hard time even like getting the words out to your therapist or whoever, just expressing this basic thing. But you got on a phone call with two people you've never met. You don't know how many people listen to this podcast. It's not a big deal, and they're complete anonymity.
Totally
we do not know who you are,
yeah.
but you said this to strangers, and you had you were willing to be vulnerable in that moment. First of all, I'm honored and thank you for sharing that
100%.
with us. If you're not willing to share with other people, but I know that you have it in you, and you don't even have to give as much detail as you just gave us. I really do think that you should talk to somebody. This is what therapy is meant for. It's supposed to be about being able to break down walls and talk about things that you aren't able to talk about with other people and making them more comfortable for you. It will be uncomfortable, but I know you can do it. If you need to, play this fucking voicemail for the therapist. Just get a therapist.
Or put it in the email, so then it's like you can type it out. You don't have to say it the first.
Yeah, you don't have to say it. You
because
can type
like
it.
it's going to be, your therapist can help you do it at baby steps, like small exposure therapy time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like so that you can get there. But I think that like it doesn't sound like I feel like I've met some people who are like, I don't like talking about sex, and that's fine.
That's fine.
And they're like, and I'm saying both as myself, that's fine. I'm speaking in their voice where they're like, it's not a thing they want to change about themselves. It sounds like you're like, I feel this way and I don't want to feel this way.
Right.
That's like how I'm interpreting it. And so I think that you can just kind of tackle that issue head on and make it a priority. And it sounds like that issue getting better would help these other problems.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say, I think is something to tackle. You're so uncomfortable about the topic, and that's fine. Like consider that this is one of the things that unites all people in the world. We all do this thing, and most of us feel uncomfortable talking about it with each other. It is like one of the only consistent things in the human experience. Like we all do it or come from it or whatever. So it's in our lives, and most of us are not that comfortable. I only wish that I was not comfortable talking about it. God knows I yap my head off about it and I make other people uncomfortable, but we all have our issues. I do think though that the bottom line, like a fundamental level of comfort is needed in order to talk about this, because sex is such an intimate, vulnerable, and can be in some ways in terrible things that I don't hope happen to you, dangerous things where you will need to talk about it. There's always that chance.
Yeah.
The idea of somebody being so paralyzed about this topic freaks me out, especially a woman. Like I think that there's a certain amount, like you should have at least one trusted person in your life where you can talk to them about this type of thing.
100%.
Because if something dangerous or uncomfortable, whatever happens to you, talking through it is crucial. And if you can't, like, think about how much you're not going to want to talk about it after, I don't know, you have an uncomfortable experience and you already don't like talking about it. You know what I mean? I'm not phrasing this to scare you or say that that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, I think it's not just that you want to be a little bit more open. I think that there's a certain like necessary level of openness about sex at a certain age. You should be able to like confide in 1 or 2 friends about it, not only because it's fun and because it's human and it's like it'll bring you closer to your friends and it could be a really fun thing to talk about, but also like safety wise, I think there needs to be 1 or 2 people in your life who you can talk about these things with.
That's a really, really, really good point.
You know, sex is like vulnerable. Things can happen and you should always be able to express. So I think the vibe, whatever you got to do, it doesn't have to be a therapist, but like this is going to be your new intention. Like this is your thing. This is a huge like resolution for you.
Yeah.
The first thing you got to do is just break the wall. If you just even tell a therapist like just write this down, like send them the transcript of that voicemail. You described it perfectly. Say, I am so uncomfortable with this topic and it's leading me to not even want to ask myself questions about my sexuality. Therefore putting back like
totally
creating a wall for me to not be able to have as much fun as I want to in my 20s, which by the way, you're not as hot as you're going to be in your life. By the way, I heard that. Not true.
Yeah,
but
not
I get
true,
the
not
feeling.
true, not true.
I feel that too, but like, it's not true.
It's literally not true.
You should just tell, I think a therapist would have a field day with this. It's like a great project and you're so self-aware and you're willing to, you're not in denial. You're willing to make steps.
Yeah, I actually, in a weird way, I kind of feel like that's like something I wish I had done when I was in therapy the last time. I'm wanting to start therapy again soon just because I think it's good to be in. But I feel like the last times I've been in therapy, I haven't been as good about having an intentional, like, this is what I'm working on. And so they've always kind of been like it's like this cycle. I guess like that's not true. I guess like I've gone to therapy 4 times. I feel like 2 of them were definitely for like a very specific reason. And then the other 2 were just, actually, no, I'm realizing now that there was a specific reason every time.
I just think that therapists and therapy work best when you come in there and you do like, I'm doing 5 sessions and it is my intention to figure out why I'm so uncomfortable talking about sex and get a little bit better at it.
100%.
If I think if you told a therapist that, even just in the email, and you could dive right in and she wouldn't have to like dig and figure out what's going on with you. That's like such an easy, like that's a great, I think that's a dream job for a therapist. Or honestly, if it doesn't have to be a therapist, just, I don't know, anybody in your life. I think it would be really cool if my friend came to me and said, I want to get more comfortable with something. Can you help me by asking me questions about it or whatever? Just like set intentions with yourself. Like make this a resolution, set goals. Like you want to be able to talk about this specific thing in 3 weeks with your best friend. That to me sounds reasonable. I think you need to break this up into a very doable goal, and any therapist or any really good caring friend or family member, maybe not family member because it's sex, so it's kind of weird, but anyone who cares would be like happy to tackle it with you.
Oh, sorry. Ooh. I was trying to pull up the next call and I didn't realize it was going to
Anyway, we're going long, but I just think that that's like, you're also, there's nothing weird about you. You're completely normal. I think you just have a certain amount of self-awareness and maturity and you want to like live a certain life in your 20s and talk about certain things. And that's beautiful. And you just like want to know more about yourself. There's nothing wrong with you at all.
100%. We love you.
Love her.
I can't wait to have a follow-up call from you. Wait, also, reminder, guys,
her
please call with your
be like, just suck some dick. I just got gangbanged and I came all day long.
I can't wait. But also, guys, call with your follow-up calls. We want to do a full callback episode. We've gotten some good ones. We're kind of saving them to do a full episode. Okay, next call.
Hi, Talia and Jake. I'm going to keep this anonymous for sure. I love both of you so much. Yada yada, that whole spiel everyone does. I loved you both separately before the podcast, and then when I saw you came out with a podcast together, I absolutely freaked out.
That's so nice.
Talia, I feel like you're my soul sister. We live almost the exact same life. But anyway, okay, so I've been seeing this guy. It's January right now. I've been seeing this guy since like October. We met on Hinge, and we're both very like, we don't know what we're looking for, like casual. He got out of a relationship in the summer. We hang out like every couple of weeks, like whatever, just kind of like almost like friends. Like it's almost like a friendly vibe. Like I feel like I get along with him very well, and we have similar interests and things like that. And, you know, we hook up and stuff, like we're attracted to each other. Like it's a fun like friendship thing. We went on a double date with my roommate, who's also single, and one of his friends. Let's call him Ryan.
That's not
and so
a
we go
date.
to this bar, the 4 of us, And I just feel like I was getting along with Ryan so well. And like he was wearing a Tyler Childers hat when he showed up, and I love Tyler Childers.
Same.
He's a cat person, and like I'm a cat person, and like the
Same.
guy that I'm actually seeing is like not like just we're like more compatible, like
Right.
more romantically like compatible. It wasn't like a friendship vibe. Like I feel like he would actually ask things. Like he's technically on a date with like my roommate, like insane.
Right.
But I just felt this like I don't know. I just felt this like pull towards him, as opposed to the guy that I'm actually seeing, which isn't the craziest thing. Like I understand that. And because of like the situation with the guy that I'm actually seeing, I didn't give him a fake name. We can call him Josh. Because of the situation with Josh, it's like I want to like be friends with him. Like, you know what I mean? We get along, like we have similar interests and things, but I feel like he would be so offended if I was like, hey, do you mind if I text Ryan? Because like, you know, we both don't really know what we're looking for. Like, would you be cool if I texted? Like, I just feel like he's so much more my type in like a romantic sense. I don't know. And I don't know if that's messy and if I need to completely cut things off with Josh before I would like even think about reaching out to Ryan. I don't know. I just felt this like I've been thinking about it, like probably crossed my mind like at least once a day. This Ryan guy, but yeah, I don't know. It's messy. It's not messy right now, but it could be messy.
She's so mean.
But it also could be fine. Like I kind of feel like Josh is the kind of guy that could be like, oh yeah, like that's totally fine. Like I don't know. I can't say that. I don't know if that's true. What do you guys think? Let me know. Love you both. Bye.
Love you too.
That's so me to like go on a double date with someone and be like, you like the music that I like? It's done. I have to be with you now.
Wait, okay, so she's seeing one guy, and they as a duo went out with her friend and his friend,
Yeah.
and now she's like, oh, I like him more.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Queen. There's no world where you can be like, hey, would you mind if I also started dating him? Like, you for sure have to end it or move on.
Well, we live in different worlds, buddy.
Wait, sorry, you think that there's a world where the guy she's seeing would be like, yeah, also go on dates with him?
No, I don't think you should tell him.
Okay, that's what I just said.
I don't think you should tell the guy. You're saying that her options are tell the guy, break up with him, and go on dates with this other guy, or don't.
Well, are we on this podcast going to tell her to cheat on someone, or are they not like that serious?
I feel like they're not that serious. I feel like you're not cheating whatsoever.
Okay.
Sorry, say what you just said against them. We can make sure that they heard.
I was going to say, are we telling someone to cheat on the podcast? But you're saying it wasn't
I don't
serious
think it's
enough.
cheating. She's like,
no, I hear what you're saying.
it's not like you're like, I was with my boyfriend of 2 years and I finally met his friend from out of town and I'm obsessed with him. Like, no, it's not like that.
Totally.
I think you're like casually hooking up with this guy. Am I wrong? Either way, how did half of the people you know's grandparents meet? It's always like, oh, I was on a date with somebody else and I kind of liked her better. It happens. It's very fucking normal. The only problem is that the only thing you gave, which is why I say you're just like me, is you're like, he likes Tyler Childers and he likes cats, which is like,
Who
okay.
is Tyler Childers?
Oh, you don't know that song? I'm all yours. You're all mine. There ain't no end. I'll sing another song for you. Don't worry. Wait, hold on. Well, my buckle makes impressions on the inside of her thigh.
Oh, God.
There are little feathered Indians as we tussle through the night. If I know she was religious, then I would have came stone to the house of such an angel. Too fucked up to get back home.
Yeah, I don't know him and I don't think I will.
So I know him and I love that kind of music, folksy, like Noah Kahan vibes. But you don't like the song Little Feathered Indians?
No.
No. Do you know the guy? Sorry, we're going to get to you in a second. Do you know the guy on Instagram who does those videos with the bad Australian accent and he like does everything with it? He was doing like the opening scene of High School Musical, but with like, it was like, I know, I can't do it. I know that something has changed about this way tonight. This could be the start of something new.
That's
so
so
funny.
stupid.
Okay. Look, cheat on him, okay?
But it's also like, if you're kind of like, oh, this guy, like, I think that something can happen when you're dating, which is like you think you might like someone and then you meet someone you actually like and you're like, oh no, I was just hoping I would like this guy who's into me.
That's happened to me.
And if that's what's happening, then I think you just drop the guy that you're not that into. And because like if in your mind you're thinking like, well, I don't want to drop this guy who's into me because if I shoot for Josh and he's not in, or it's not the guy's name, Ryan, what's the other guy's name? It doesn't matter. If you shoot for the guy that you're actually into and then he's like, no, then you're like, well, fuck, I'm left alone. But it's like being alone is kind of being better than with being with someone that you're like not actually that into, in my opinion. I guess some people don't feel that way, but I'm like, I think you, at this point, it's
totally
like,
agree.
it seems like you're not that into the guy that you're with. So maybe
I think it's
drop
time to break
him.
up with him anyway.
Yeah, that's
But
what
I
I'm,
just think
it's anyway, it's time to break up with him.
You're
Yeah.
saying he might be cool with the fact that you're like going to go on a date with his friend. He's probably not. Like nobody would be. It's
That's
kind
what
of weird.
I'm saying. I think that is like the hope of that is kind of farcical. Like,
Yeah, I think you should take this as a sign that you're done with the guy that you're seeing.
yeah.
You wouldn't be if you were really clearly you haven't been dating for like 5 years. You're still supposed to be in like the honeymoon stage. It's a new casual relationship, it seems. You should be like, I don't want to see anybody else. You should be like that. And if you're not, well, then you don't like him enough, and that's okay.
Like if you're kind of if you're like casually seeing, like I'm thinking about, if you're casually seeing this guy and it's like he's also still seeing other people, and then you were to go on a date with this guy who you guys met together and he found out, like I think even I in that situation would be like, damn, that's tough. But it's like, when you think about it, there's no actual like crime to be charged. It's like you didn't really do anything technically wrong. It just would like smart a little, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that like that's fine. It's a little bit just like of like a meeting, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. What's in my hair?
I don't know. Should we play another call?
Yeah. It's just it's an awk thing, but it happens. It totally happens. Like I don't think it's that unusual. But don't make sure that you don't just, I think you're using this guy as an excuse because you don't really like the guy that you're with.
That's what I feel.
Dump him.
Yeah.
But like also liking Tyler Childers, totally great taste, and love cats as well. But that by that logic, like you'd leave your boyfriend for me. So
Yeah.
why do you like this guy?
Yeah, totally.
For real, for real. That was a good advice I just gave. Okay, I'm not offended, but like Marcelo texted me, he goes, I need someone who can help with TikTok stuff, like somebody who knows about TikTok. You're texting me. I know about TikTok. He's like, yeah, can you do like, voiceover stuff? Do you know anyone who's good at editing on TikTok? Yeah. I have a million followers. What the fuck?
That's funny. Well, maybe he thinks you do. Maybe you're so good at that. Maybe he thinks you hire out, which is a flattering
Yeah,
thing.
he probably thinks I hire out. That's
Okay.
all.
We need to do the next call.
Hi, Talia and Jake, or Talia's podcast. I literally love your guys' podcast. I just want to say, and if you guys answer this on your podcast, I will literally freak out. But this is a situation. So basically, this guy that like works at my job, him and I recently hooked up, and like this was about like a week ago, and okay, so there's a lot to get into. So I thought he was cute for the longest time, and like I never made a move or anything. But like one day, like he was like, flirting with me and calling me beautiful and like gave me a hug and everything. And I was like, maybe this is like a sign that we should, like I don't know, like maybe like something different. So literally, I get off of work early that day, and we run into each other, and he offers to drive me to my car, which is literally like so close to my job. So I was like, why is he offering to drop me off at my car? And so I was like, okay, let me just go along with it. And then we exchanged numbers and everything, and he asked like if I want, to come over his place, and so I do. And we're watching a movie and stuff, and I'm not thinking much, like watching the movie, and like, things start to get hot and heavy. And then he pulls back and he's like, oh, I just want to let you know, like before we get into anything, that I have a girlfriend. And then, like, mind you, we're already like into it. Like, we're into it. And I'm like, bruh, like you couldn't have told me this like maybe before I got to your house,
Yeah,
maybe
this
before we
sucks.
exchanged numbers. didn't bring it up until he waited until like it was already basically too late. And
Yeah,
so
that sucks.
now I don't know what to do, y'all, because like I'm not trying to be a homewrecker. Like I don't understand. And then after like I spent the night, and then like that day he didn't call me or contact me until that night. Like I literally left in the morning and he didn't contact me until that night. And so I thought he was literally like ghosting me. And then he didn't like, he went like 2 days without communicating with me. So I was like, okay, this guy's a fucking asshole. And, then he like, we followed each other on Instagram and we exchanged numbers. So he Instagram vanish mode DMs me and asked me if I have Snapchat. And I'm like, I give him my Snapchat.
Yeah, because he's cheating.
And like, he asked me on Snapchat, like, for nudes. I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, now I've kind of gotten the ick from him, but like, it's literally just so disappointing because I literally thought this guy was like really cute. And
Did it just cut off? Oh yeah, that's the end. Yeah, I think it just cuts off.
Well, good. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it cut off. You need a little wake-up call, Missy Sue. No. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I get it. I'm so sorry. You thought he was cute and it was fun and he made you feel good, blah, 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 blah. And then he did something really fucking shitty to you. The funniest thing of this voicemail, though, was that after you're getting down with him all hot and heavy, I assume you've got shirts off or something, and he tells you he has a girlfriend. Then he doesn't text you for 2 days and you're like, oh, so now I know he's an asshole. Girl, he's an asshole. It's done. You deserve so much better. So does whoever he's dating. No.
The vanish mode shit is so corny.
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
It's like, I mean, I guess like there's a world where someone could think it's hot to like sneaking around, but I'm just like, ugh, like just knowing that he's like sitting or probably on the couch while his girlfriend's making him dinner and he's just like vanish mode texting and Snapchatting girls. I'm like, you're literally like a lame 14-year-old boy. Like it's so corny. It's like, don't, that's not who you should be having sex with.
And Snapchatting is a mode of communication at this big age. Like it's just
a bit
so
much. Yeah,
it's loser
girl, you need to
behavior.
move on.
You deserve better.
Yeah.
It's just, you know you do. You know, you listen to this podcast, you like both of us. I feel like you kind of, we have similar thought processes.
I mean, this is a textbook. Like you knew exactly what we were going to say.
You
and
knew
there's
what we
nothing
were
wrong.
gonna
We're
say.
so glad you called, but like, come on, you got it.
We love you. We love having you little
And
funny delusional
chopped.
girls in the calls. But I think you're smarter than this. Like you know exactly what the answer is. You had a little fun. You got a little validation. Now get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, run.
That's it. No, go find somebody who's better.
100%.
Enough. Okay.
Okay.
So we love you guys.
Sorry that episode was a little short this week, but it's just because that's how the scheduling works.
Don't forget to call us regardless if you want to talk about sex. If you can't talk about sex. If you are seeing a guy that you know is an asshole, but you just want us to give you a kick in the butt.
Yes. 929-269-4960.
Jake.
Can you believe?
I had it pulled up and everything, and you still, fuck you. 929-269-4960. Piece of shit.
Rate and review.
I was gonna read the email and I was about to be like password. Our email is basictrainingpod@gmail.com if you want to send us a voice memo. And we love you, and we would love you more if you rated and reviewed.
5
and shared
stars.
the show.
Go watch the YouTubes, all of it. All right. We'll see you next week.
I'm all yours. You're all mine. I can't believe you don't know that song.